They say it's the little things that matter. But nobody tells you how the smallest decisions, barely noticeable at first, can build into a mountain of pain you never saw coming. Not in a flash, not like a storm, but like a slow leak in your life's foundation. You don't wake up in pain one day. You wake up realizing that all the tiny avoidances, the skipped apologies, the missed workouts, the ignored opportunities, and the silent betrayals you made to your own potential have accumulated into a life you didn't want. This is the law of compound pain. It's silent. It doesn't yell. It whispers in your sleep, hides in your habits, and only shows its true face when it's too late to turn back easily. One skipped conversation turns into a broken relationship. One missed day at the gym becomes years of unhealthy habits. One moment of comfort leads to decades of mediocrity. Pain doesn't just appear, it builds. Slowly, quietly, like interest on a debt you forgot to pay. And the longer you let it sit, the more it owns you. At first, it's just a few seconds of hesitation. You tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow. You'll start the book next week. You'll call your father next Sunday. You'll apologize when the moment is right. But you don't. And life has a brutal way of turning procrastination into punishment. What you avoid compounds. The regret piles up. You start to feel it not just in your mind but in your body. Your energy drops. Your spirit grows numb. You begin to live cautiously, then fearfully, and then resentfully. You see others living freely and wonder why you feel stuck. And the worst part? You weren't hit by tragedy. You were hit by inaction. You weren't taken out by a massive failure. You were quietly suffocated by your own neglect. That's the law. Compound pain doesn't care if you had good intentions. It doesn't care that you were scared or tired or too busy. Life only tracks what you did. And every time you choose comfort over courage, every time you delay the hard choice, you're putting another coin in the jar of regret. Eventually, that jar breaks, and your life spills out in the form of dreams that never got a chance. Opportunities missed not because they weren't there, but because you weren't ready. Pain builds when you pretend the cost isn't real, and when you finally feel it, it comes with interest, emotional, financial, physical. It hits you all at once, even though it took years to form. That's why the strongest people in the world are not the ones who avoid discomfort, but the ones who face it daily to avoid the deeper, darker, delayed pain of regret. You want to change your life? Start by addressing the smallest leaks. That habit you know is stealing your time. That person you need to forgive. That dream you keep delaying. Fix it now, not later, because every moment you wait, the pain compounds. You're either building a life you want or a life you'll regret. There is no neutral. There is no pause button. Life is always ticking. Your future is always forming. And one day, you'll wake up, either grateful for the hard choices you made or haunted by the easy ones. Choose wisely. They won't tell you this, but life doesn't destroy you in one blow. It chips away at your soul quietly, slowly, invisibly. One ignored responsibility here, one little compromise there, a skipped gym session, a promise broken to yourself, a late morning again. You won't feel the downfall until the day you look in the mirror and realize you no longer recognize the person staring back. That's how the law of self-betrayal operates. You break your own heart, one lazy decision at a time. This law doesn't shout, it whispers. And its silence is exactly what makes it deadly. Because nothing destroys a person faster than the daily practice of choosing comfort over courage. Most people think betrayal is something someone else does to you. But no, the deepest cuts are always self-inflicted. You betray yourself every time you settle. Every time you lie to yourself about trying when you know you aren't. Every time you pretend you're okay with mediocrity when your soul screams for more. The law is brutal, but it's honest. Every step away from your higher self accumulates interest in regret. There's no escaping this one. The most painful part of failing isn't losing, it's knowing deep down you were the one who held the knife. You gave up. And worse, you knew you were giving up. You stopped trying when it got hard. You looked for shortcuts when life was asking you to build stamina. You ran when you should have stood still and faced the storm. And that's the difference between the few who make it and the millions who don't. Winners are not stronger or smarter. They are simply more loyal to their vision. They understand the law of self-betrayal and fight it daily. They know no victory is worth having if you have to abandon your values to get it. So they rise at 5 a.m., not because they love the morning, but because they love who they become by honoring their word. They say no to distractions, to comfort, to temptation, not because it's easy, but because they know that small betrayals turn into big regrets. The weight of regret is always heavier than the weight of discipline. The law is a mirror, it shows you exactly who you are. And if you don't like what you see, good. That discomfort is your soul trying to wake you up. You can lie to the world, But the one person you'll never escape is yourself. Your choices echo through time. Who you become tomorrow is written by what you tolerate today. Do not tolerate laziness. Do not tolerate lies. Do not tolerate the slow poison of just this once, because just this once becomes a lifestyle before you even notice. If your life feels stuck, it's because you've been unfaithful to your future self. You keep choosing what feels good now over what you truly want long term, and that's how you ruin your own life, one decision at a time. But here's the good news: if you're the one who betrayed yourself, you're also the one who can save yourself. No one else can do it. No motivational video, no mentor, no miracle. Just you making the hard choices daily. You can rewrite your story. You can become someone you admire. You can build a life you're proud of, but only if you stop breaking promises to yourself. The law demands discipline, consistency, and brutal honesty. If you can look yourself in the mirror and say, "I did everything I could today," then you've won. That's how you escape the trap. That's how you end the silent war against yourself. That's how you go from broken to bulletproof. No more excuses, no more lies, no more hiding. This is your time to rise. They say your life doesn't change in a moment, but what if that's wrong? What if the moment it really starts to change is the exact second you decide that you've had enough? Enough of the pain, enough of the excuses, enough of looking at the mirror and seeing someone you don't recognize anymore. That moment, the one you're living right now, can either be a continuation of chaos, or the first brick in your personal empire, not built in one grand decision, but laid down slowly, invisibly, brick by brick, in your daily habits. You see, people chase goals because they think goals will save them. They believe a number on a scale, $1 million in the bank, or some grand title will be their redemption. But the truth is more brutal: you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. It's not your ambition that decides your future, it's your habits. And right now, your habits are writing the script of your life in silence. They don't scream, they whisper. They live in the 5 minutes you scroll instead of start. They live in the moment you say, "I'll do it tomorrow" for the 47th time. And the most dangerous part? Your brain believes whatever you do consistently. Fail to act today? Your brain assumes you're someone who doesn't follow through. But if you act even small, even shaky, it starts to believe, "Maybe I'm someone who can change." The scariest truth about life is this: your identity is not fixed. It's being shaped every day. And the hammer and chisel? They are your habits. What you do once in a while might feel good, but what you do every single day is what you become. You don't become disciplined by watching 100 motivational videos. You don't become healthy by eating clean for one weekend. You don't become free by dreaming of freedom. You become all these things through the daily grind. The invisible, repetitive, boring actions. That's where champions are built. That's where the comeback starts. Imagine walking into a room filled with people who believe in you, push you forward, and demand your best. Now imagine stepping into a room where every person doubts you, pulls you down, and thrives on your failure. Which room would you choose to spend your time in? The shocking truth is that most people ignore this question for years. They think their environment is just a background, a neutral space, something that doesn't shape them deeply. But it's not neutral. Your environment is the silent architect of your future. It's the soil where the seeds of your dreams either take root or wither away. If you want to change your life, but your environment stays the same, you're trying to swim upstream with a bucket tied to your ankle. Success, happiness, growth, they don't just happen in isolation. They are products of the energy you absorb, the people you surround yourself with, and the culture you breathe in every day. Your friends, your workplace, the books you read, the social media you scroll, all of this is wiring your brain for either victory or defeat. You see, it's not just about finding motivation or having the right mindset. Even the strongest mindset can break if the environment is toxic. If you're in a place where everyone complains, where negativity is the norm, your thoughts will start to echo those voices. Slowly, without realizing it, you'll adapt to the energy around you. Your dreams will seem smaller, your will weaker, and your actions less bold. But the good news? Just like you can be pulled down, you can also be lifted up. Changing your environment isn't just about moving to a new city or changing jobs. It's about being intentional about what and who you allow near you. It's about creating daily rituals that guard your mind, body, and soul from poison. It's about curating your digital world to feed your growth, not your fears. Think of your environment as a mirror reflecting your future self. What you see today in your surroundings is what you are becoming. If your room is messy, your mind feels chaotic. If your circle is small and limiting, your vision shrinks. If your habits are drowned in distractions, your results will be diluted. You might think you can just push through the noise, but the reality is that environments shape our decisions unconsciously. Science backs this up. Your brain mirrors the behaviors of those around you. Your stress levels rise or fall depending on your daily exposure, and your motivation flickers like a candle in a wind tunnel if the atmosphere isn't right. This is why some people can hustle endlessly and still feel stuck, while others seem to rise effortlessly. The difference is often the silent power of their environment, the company they keep, the words they hear daily, the spaces they inhabit. These are the invisible forces steering their ship. So, what can you do? First, start by auditing your environment. Who do you talk to every day? What kind of content do you consume? What energy does your home or workplace radiate? Be ruthless and honest, because if your environment is a swamp, no amount of motivation will dry it up overnight. Second, build your fortress. Surround yourself with people who stretch your limits, who hold you accountable, who celebrate your wins and challenge your excuses. Seek mentors who have already walked the path you want to travel. Create spaces that inspire creativity, peace, and focus. Use tools, books, podcasts, and courses that feed your hunger for growth instead of draining it. Third, guard your mind like a fortress. Block out negativity. Limit time on social media if it drags you down. Replace toxic habits with positive rituals, meditation, journaling, exercise. These might seem small, but over time, they shape an environment inside you that is impossible to shake. The world is full of stories about individuals who transformed their lives by changing their surroundings, whether it's moving to a new city, joining a new community, or simply shifting the people they hang around with. They rewired their future. You can too. Remember, your environment is not just where you live, it's what you allow into your mind and heart every day. It's the soundtrack playing in the background of your life, and it's the foundation on which your destiny is built. If you want to be unrecognizable in 12 months, if you want to rewrite the script of your life, start here. Master your environment and watch how effortlessly your mindset, habits, and results follow, because no one succeeds in isolation. Success is a garden that requires constant tending, and your environment is the soil that makes everything grow or rot.